What was supposed to be one of the biggest nights of Caitlin Clark's season ended up becoming one of the most talked about controversies of the year. And the wild part? It wasn't because of a game-winning shot. It wasn't because of a fight. It wasn't even because of a record-breaking performance. Instead, the entire basketball world found itself arguing over a moment that lasted only a few seconds, a moment involving Angel Reese, a moment involving Caitlin Clark, and a moment that left Fever fans asking one uncomfortable question. Why did nobody respond? Because what happened during Indiana's matchup against the Atlanta Dream wasn't just another regular season storyline. It felt like the latest chapter in a rivalry that refuses to cool down, no matter how many times people insist it's over. And by the end of the night, one team walked away with the win. The other walked away with questions. Lots of questions. Before the game even tipped off, there was already excitement surrounding Caitlin Clark. The spotlight has followed her everywhere since entering the WNBA, but this night felt different. Fans were talking about her latest milestone. Cameras followed her arrival. Every move was being documented. You could see the excitement on her face. This wasn't just another game. It was supposed to be a celebration, the kind of moment players remember years later. But basketball has a funny way of changing the script. Because only a short time later, social media began buzzing for a completely different reason. Fans started noticing something. Then more fans noticed. Then the clips started spreading. And suddenly, the conversation shifted away from Clark's special night and towards something far more dramatic. Angel Reese had entered the picture. Now, whether you love Angel Reese or can't stand her, one thing is impossible to deny. She understands attention. Some players avoid the spotlight. Reese seems to run directly toward it. For years, she's embraced being one of the most talked-about figures in women's basketball. While some athletes spend energy trying to avoid controversy, Reese has never looked particularly interested in playing it safe. That's part of why people watch. You never know what's going to happen next. And on this night, she once again found herself at the center of everything. As the game unfolded, cameras caught a sequence that immediately ignited debate online. Some fans believed Reese was taking a playful jab. Others thought she crossed a line. Meanwhile, another group argued that rivalries are exactly what sports need. The reactions were instant. Twitter exploded. TikTok exploded. Sports talk shows suddenly had fresh material for days. And before anyone could even process what was happening, the moment had become bigger than the game itself. But here's what made the situation fascinating. While everyone was talking about gestures and reactions, Atlanta was quietly taking control of the game. That's the part many people missed. Because rivalries create headlines, winning creates respect, and the Dream were doing both. Every time Indiana appeared ready to grab momentum, Atlanta answered. Every run, every surge, every attempt to swing the game. The Dream had a response waiting. That's when frustration started creeping into Indiana's performance. You could feel it, not panic, not collapse, just frustration. The kind that slowly builds when things aren't going according to plan. And unfortunately for the Fever, that frustration showed up at the worst possible time. Because Atlanta wasn't playing like a team interested in helping Indiana recover, they smelled opportunity, and they attacked. Angel Reese was everywhere, rebounding, scoring, creating energy, doing all the little things that don't always make highlight reels but absolutely impact winning. The stat sheet backed it up, the eye test backed it up, and perhaps most importantly, her teammates backed it up. That's where the contrast became impossible to ignore. The Dream looked connected. The Fever looked disconnected. Atlanta celebrated together. Indiana often looked like individuals trying to solve problems on their own. Now that's not meant as disrespect. Basketball is emotional. Every team experiences nights where chemistry doesn't look perfect. But when fans compare one sideline to another and notice a difference immediately, people start asking questions. And that's exactly what happened. Questions about leadership, questions about accountability, questions about culture, questions that become louder after losses, especially losses on national television. The uncomfortable reality for Indiana is that these conversations aren't new. This isn't the first time fans have questioned the team's energy. It isn't the first time people have wondered whether the Fever are maximizing their talent, and it probably won't be the last, because on paper, this roster show